All right, so it's been a little while since I've taken on the topic of physical health. We went through the mental health extensively, emotional health, and now we're on to the physical. I kind of stayed away from the physical because there's so many kind of half-truths, if you will, around what it is and how it works, and I needed some time to digest how to approach the explanation of what physical health is. So we'd say that physical health is actually the most tricky. We'd think that emotional health is the most elusive, mental health maybe the most immediate or stubborn. In our kind of culture, we want to figure it out now, but it's very resistant to being figured out, if you say that, from its own aspect, from a mental health aspect. It's hard to understand mental health. So, that being said, now for the physical. So, we say that the emotional health style things, when we're looking at things from an emotional aspect, this is still very kind of untangible. We say even when we look at it from the mental aspect, it's untangible. But the physical body makes the expressions of these things visible. So you can emotionally feel a way about something, but when you act on it, what was the outcome? Did it lead to the emotion that you wanted to have at the end of it? Yes or no? Then we also say mentally, we can think very strongly about something. This is the way to solve that, for sure. And then we put it to action. And when it meets action, it might not really make it to the solution we're looking for. And then we have to think, well, what is the cost of these ways of acting for that solution? And in this way, it points better to, how much full truth, I guess, is in that emotional state or in that mental state. And is it serving health? And in fact, if either of these solutions, mental or emotional, are not serving to restore or to create a health solution, then we'd say that they would be incorrect, not having the nutrition that an action should have to nourish the body. Now, that being said, we say that there has to be a combination with the mental and emotional aspects of something to then create the right action. Right? The body goes through actions, the body shows us results of actions. We have experiences that show us kind of how our thoughts and emotions play out. And if we have a very good balanced way of looking at things, then we'd always be solving for our own personal health. And if we solve for our health, then this must solve for the health of everybody else. Now, let's get into how most people look at health from a physical standpoint. So we'd say, okay, I want to be healthy. What is that? We'd say, well, being fit. I want to work out, hit the gym, do exercise, and this is how I'm going to be healthy. Well, we'd say fit. What do you want to be fit for? If you're being fit for something, then it can't be fit for health, because then we're not actually getting the health part. There's something previous in the fit. So then we say, okay, well, health is like doctor stuff and practitioner stuff. It's okay, well, that sounds pretty good. But are we going there because we're already healthy, or are we going there because we're lacking health? Then we'd see that even though we associate doctors and practitioners with health, this is kind of, they're trying to gain back health. So it wouldn't be health itself. So then we're still searching and looking for what this health thing is. And previous I said that health is more of a pace. This is in contrast to how fast we're moving. However, when we're going to look at the physical body, we're going to say health is more of an environment. Surprise, surprise. So when we physically come in contact with something that is health promoting, it more or less feels positive. It might not be easy. There's a lot of things that are hard, maybe working towards our end goal. But when we finally get there, we feel good if we do it from a place of mental and emotional balance. So we can work really hard, get to our end outcome, and be burnt out. Then we'd say, probably moving too fast. Maybe I wasn't checking in with my body at that time. And if my body is tired, this must mean I'm burning through mental and emotional resources that are needed to sustain this pace. This pace is too fast. let me slow it down. This is generally a humbling experience. We often, eat with our eyes instead of our stomachs. So we'll over gauge the pace and the amount that we want, right? This is the whole thing with burnout. That's the only reason that that's possible. We're using too much resources too quickly, and we're not recognizing the kind of language of the body. We'd say, well, if this is true, this is all external actions. This is true internally. Yeah, if we're burning through resources too quickly, we will have organ issues, hormone issues. Why are the hormones doing what it is? If we take the standpoint, as always from self-care, that the body's trying to solve something, then we'd say, why would this be a solution for this challenge that I'm going through? Why is it that my stomach hurts every time I hang out with that person? Why is it that my knees bother me when I go up the stairs? Why is it that I get so flustered when talking with my family? All these things are pointing to something, but if we think that they are the end conclusion, then we find ourselves in a tricky place. This is not what the body is saying. The body is saying something's here. The emotion is saying, yep, we definitely having a response to this thing. And the mind is like, okay, so what do we do to solve it? And we often think that our solution is very external and large, when it's more kind of quiet and internal. So we'd say that the person who is feeling unempowered, disempowered, not as strong as they could be, they will not gain more strength by thought alone. It's not going to happen. Are they going to be able to put emotions on top of emotions? Possibly. Will that lead to the end outcome? Cannot. So we'd say that, we have to figure out, what's missing from that piece of the puzzle. And then we'd say, what environment can I be in where this thing kind of dissipates? So if I am physically around a lot of extroverted people, and all of a sudden I feel that, I feel a bit more bold, I feel a bit more in my element, I feel a bit stronger in that sense, then we'd say there's something in that environment there for us. Or it might be quietly walking through the trails. This is more of a mental solution thing. Now that we're here, what is this atmosphere giving to us? Do we feel more relaxed? This means that I need time to process something more. What is it that I need to process? Would be the next question. And we often stop before that question. Emotionally, if we get out how we feel, explain it to somebody. Does this bring restoration, or do we have to continue to talk? If we have to continue to talk, it's not the solution you're looking for. So just like you can be in these different environments, they can also physically create a calm or relax or a creativity that comes out of us. And this is more pointing to the solution. So we would say that the physical body uses the senses to kind of seek out that environment of restoration. Now that when we get there, it's a different kind of skill to put together what is it in this environment that I'm really looking for. And this is generally going to need a little bit of help because we have no kind of formal structures for teaching how to do that. But this is more of the understanding of how the physical body is working, how physical health works. It is a truth teller. It's showing us results. Do we always end up in the same scenario? Okay, that means there's something there to learn. What is there to learn? And we keep trying at what the thing is to learn. And if you don't succeed, this is okay. We might think that each time we don't succeed, this is building experience to the time that we do succeed. And in building this kind of repetitive action of going after that task, we actually kind of lift ourselves up on a platform to be more stable when we make that change. All these things have to be physically done, physically taken on. They have to be pursued. We have to have the ups and downs in there. And then if we use the self-care model, we're able to build a very strong foundation. Lots of internal resource, lots of emotional and mental resource, so that when we do hit a challenge, we're fully prepared for it.